Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the most packed Mario Kart game in history. It already has 48 tracks in its base roster, and the booster course pass is doubling the amount, bringing the total to a staggering 96 tracks. With that being said, there are still many creative and iconic tracks that are missing. Tracks that offer more variety than the already diverse list of courses we have.
So we've narrowed it down to 10 tracks, judged by not only how good they are, but also if they bring something unique and fresh to Mario Kart 8's roster. We're also avoiding having 2 tracks on the list that contrast with similar themes and names. For example, there won't be 2 Rainbow Roads or Bowser Castles on the list. So with the ground rules laid out, I'm Sandy.
And I'm Itachi.
And these are the 10 tracks we need in the booster pass.
Starting off with the most underrated track on this list, Shy Guy Bazaar. This track doesn't pop out as needed at first glance, but it has aspects that make it unique compared to existing tracks, with the theme itself standing out the most. Shy Guy Bazaar has an Arabian theme, which is done really well, and it doesn't appear anywhere else in any existing track. You race through a night market, a neighborhood, and even a rooftop construction zone, ending with a short glide that leads you to the start of the track. There's also an alternate route before the construction segment, and although it doesn't seem to be much faster, it still keeps the race fresh and dynamic. The track is already in Mario Kart Tour, so I think it has a pretty good shot at getting into DLC. Shy Guy Bazaar is not the most complicated track, but it is still a fun time and provides a new environment for players to enjoy. Also, come on, look at this guy! Why wouldn't you want this track?
Going from a sandy wasteland to a wet mountain, our choice for number 9 is Koopa Cape. This track from Wii brings a fresh and unique feel, with its island being in the complete middle of nowhere. Seriously, where even is this place? Koopa Cape's aesthetic is just fantastic. It starts you off on a cliffside and leads you into this open cave section before taking you down the mountain's river, eventually nosediving into this incredible underwater section that finishes off the lap. The underwater sections in 8 are good in their own right, but this part just feels way more special. But seriously, where is this place? Who put this mountain here? So many little things truly make this track, like the item boxes you have to chase on the river, the grass sections giving you tons of shortcut potential, or even the entire billboards Koopa Troopa has paid for to make sure you turn instead of flying face first into the wall. The flowing water also gives this course a great sense of speed that makes the track a ton of fun to drive on, and would make a perfect addition to the booster pass. Seriously though, where is this place? What ocean is this? How do I get out of here?
Wario Coliseum is one of my favorite tracks of all time. It's one of the first courses to ever introduce a lap count outside of 3 due to its length. It is a long course and the track design is insane. It has so many twists, turns, and ramps. It becomes really tight at points, making the Coliseum feel like the roller coaster that it is. You have 2 ramps at the beginning, there's rings of fire, and you even get a massive ramp that throws you into a cage. And the cage spirals down to a bottom path that has a massive pit. You can go either around the pit or over it, and going over it is a risk, but it pays off because it's that much faster. There's just a lot of options in this course. It's just seriously insane. Everything I just said makes it sound like there's too much going on, but it all plays extremely well. Wario Coliseum has never appeared in any Mario Kart game aside from Double Dash, and there's nothing else quite like it. Mario Kart 8 is the perfect opportunity to bring it back, but I just hope they don't turn it into a one-lap course like they did with Rainbow Road.
While Mario Kart 64 has plenty of great choices, we've decided to go with Calamari Desert. Sherbet Land. Our choice for number 7 is Sherbet Land. Luckily for us, options are unlimited when it comes to amazing 64 tracks. In contrast to other snow levels, Sherbet Land feels more like it takes place inside a giant iceberg instead of a random snowfield, and it makes use of that extensively, with both cracks in the ground turning smooth corners into sharp turns, and the ice cave that gives me cozy Sonic Adventure vibes. The 64 Classic doesn't do much in terms of being like a roller coaster, but instead opts to be a simpler layout, allowing items to shine and races to optimize it more. From using the start of a drift or mushroom to hop over the cracks, or taking a tighter line through the cave, this track really tests your creativity to find time to save. And listen, I know that like rule number 3 of our list was not to have contrasting names, but there are literally 3 river roads and 2 Mario circuits. Also, it's my list, so I get to choose, and I picked Titanic's Worst Enemy in track 4. Hey, you think I get a refund on this cap? Oh my god, not again!
The Mario Kart series has its staple tracks. Take circuit courses, desert themes, and of course Rainbow Road. But aside from Rainbow Road, there's no other type of track that's as essential as Bowser's Castle. Even though it's such an important theme, there's only one Bowser's Castle in Mario Kart 8. The Booster Course Pass needs to add another, and while it's not my favorite Bowser's Castle, I think Mario Kart 7's version of the track would be the best to bring back. There's just a lot of elements in it that would make it unique to race through. The track starts off with a quick glide into the castle, but compared to other versions of this course, you don't really spend much time inside the actual castle. You still have a few turns in there, dodge some lava pools, dodge some thwomps, but that's not the main focus of this track. Once you go through the castle portion of the track, you go through a barrel that takes you to the underside of the castle, and the underside of the castle actually ends up being an underwater section. There's still pipes dropping lava, so you're dodging them, and it makes it into such a cool concept that I'm surprised hasn't ever come back. The rest of the track is on the outside of the castle. It still contains lava plumes, ramps, and sharp turns, all leading to a gliding section that takes you to the beginning of the castle. There are more iconic versions of Bowser's Castle, such as the Wii and N64 iterations, but they don't offer the variety that this track can bring to Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 7's Bowser's Castle stands out as unique, and it would fit in perfectly inside of the Booster Course Pass.
A great option for this spot would be DK Summit, but we already have Mount Wario, so we're going with the more unique and less snowy DK Mountain from Double Dash. This track came up with the phenomenal idea of violently launching races out of a cannon, sending you to the top of the mountain. This is a very creative way of solving the problem of how do you loop a mountain that future tracks like Mount Wario eventually ignore. After getting blasted up the mountain and taking a U-turn, you get a beautiful view of pretty much the entire track in a steep ramp section. The main bulk of the track is the windy back and forth section that not only tests your kart's turning and drifting, but also gives a nice shortcut option. During your descent down the mountain, falling rocks will also be an obstacle to avoid, and while the final wooden bridge seems simple, you can easily be knocked off if you're not careful enough. But at least it gives a good view if you fall.
Mario Kart Double Dash is filled with tons of memorable tracks. There's Peach Beach, Mushroom Bridge, Dino Jungle, and so many more. With so many iconic tracks, it was really hard to decide on a final pick for Double Dash. After debating on it, we decided to go with Daisy Cruiser. The setting is beautiful and the track layout is awesome. You've got the top deck, the pool area, the dining hall, the cargo area, the front of the ship, and it all just culminates to create such a unique design. The two standout areas in my opinion are the dining hall and the cargo area. The dining hall gets tricky to race through because of the tables moving back and forth, but it's really fun and dynamic. The cargo area has a cannon that shoots you to the front of the ship, and aside from that, it's nothing special, but I really like the idea of going through a cargo area on a cruise ship. It came back in Mario Kart 7 and it was just as good there. It even had some additions that I thought helped it. There's an alternate path at the start of the track, you can race through the pool, and the cargo section is now an aquarium. I really like most of these changes, especially being able to race through the water, but if it were up to me, I'd keep the cargo section for Double Dash. I really like the cannon, and it's just a cooler section to me. Daisy Cruiser is a beautiful track to race on, and it makes for the perfect summer course.
For the next track on our list, we'll be taking a look at Mario Kart DS. Now DS has many great courses such as Luigi's Mansion and Airship Fortress, but a course that I personally love and think is a great fit for number 3 on this list is Yoshi Falls. Delfino Square. Number 3 on our list is Delfino Square. Unlike its tropical island counterpart, Delfino Square is set in an old European town with a gold and brown color palette and an unused autumn niche that's only been seen in a few tracks. But, like its island counterpart, Yoshi Falls takes place in a tropical jungle. Unlike most city courses, this track uses sponsored railing to block off other city paths, which makes it feel more like a section race instead of Need for Speed Underground with go-karts. Delfino Square's layout is maybe one of its most incredible parts. It has a nice mix of smooth and sharp turns, and also does a great job mixing up wide open paths with tight ones. The shortcuts on this track are another shining feature. Simple stuff like a mud path through an alleyway, small grass patches at the very end allowing you to boost over, or the extremely cool jump over the water onto a wooden dock, which can still be a difficult skip even with the proper item. And of course, there's the ending bridge, which will raise and lower to sometimes act as a ramp or just a simple boost path before the finish. At times, this place seriously gives me F1 street race vibes, with its choice to have a more organized feel and less of a Mario characters terrorizing the I-95 at 100cc dirt bike feel.
Every Mario Kart game has a Rainbow Road. Heck, Mario Kart 8 has 3. Even though there are already a few, the Booster Pass needs at least one more. It'd be funny if the Blue Shell Cup was made up of all Rainbow Roads, but that's unlikely, so let's just go with one. Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road is the most unique version of the track that has been made. From its gorgeous visuals to its amazing layout. You start off with a snaky path that goes into 4 boost ramps, and these boost ramps really increase the sense of speed because you can trick off of them, and then after that you go to like a winding broken off path around an asteroid, and this asteroid you can like trick off of the ramps, but it's really hard to, and if you trick off of each one you're probably gonna fall off. Oh, and there's a rainbow mushroom afterwards that goes into like a wiggly path into the second lap, and the second lap is really cool because you go onto the rings of Saturn, or at least that's what it looks like it's supposed to be, and there's like boost panels on it and another gliding section that takes you back to Rainbow Road, and there's like a few tight turns and then a really wavy path, and this wavy path has like some cheese holes on it, or they look like cheese holes. They're not actually cheese holes because that's like for Cheeseland, but they have like these really like big holes that you can fall into, or you can make it to the end, but either way you get on the freaking moon and you can jump on the moves craters and trick off of them, and after that you go to the third lap, and the third lap has like a really spinny tunnel type thing, and you can either glide at the end or fall into a bunch of speed ramps. And even though the speed ramps are harder, they do go much faster, and there's a big U-turn at the end that they could turn to 0 gravity, and then you finally get to the beginning of the lap. This entire Rainbow Road is one lap, and it feels like it should be. It's an adventure that is always throwing something interesting your way, and if you couldn't already tell, it is my favorite rendition of Rainbow Road. I really think that it needs to come back.
This should probably be expected. This list would frankly be incomplete without Mushroom Kingdom's Sweatshop. Seriously, the fact that this track isn't even in tour is mind-boggling. In a game full of highlights, this course stands out with one of the coolest gimmicks ever used, taking place in an item box factory and using its theme in creative ways. Like right after the first turn, there are these hydraulic machines filled with item goop, turning classic Mario bricks into... Item goop? I can't tell if this is cursed or not, and does that mean these things have a gummy texture or a glass one? After another turn, you drive across this outside area that not only gives you another chance at an item box, but also has wooden crates to dodge. These crates will kill your speed, but they also sometimes randomly drop items like mushrooms or bananas. The final section of the track starts with 4 conveyor belts that will flip the direction each lap, and finishes with this outdoor mud section. While a bit out of place, it is very fun to drive through, as the walls will actively retract and extend to hide and reveal boost pads, which without an item is the only safe way to cross the mud. After getting past that, you return back to the entrance, finishing the lap. This track is just a joy to drive, having a relatively simple layout and instead using moving obstacles to not only keep you on your toes, but also to create an immersive environment. Toad's Factory for some is the Mario Kart Wii track, and frankly, the booster pass would be incomplete without it. The Mario Kart series has so many interesting and beloved tracks, so many fan favorites that are still missing. This was the list that we decided on, but we still missed tracks that we wanted to include.
2 tracks that we were really torn on were Maple Treeway and Rainbow Road Wii. Maple Treeway is absolutely amazing, but we ultimately decided against it because of the amount of Wii tracks we already included. Although arguably less iconic, Rainbow Road 7 was decided on rather than Wii's because it felt more unique. And I liked it more, so I wanted it on the list. Even these 2 tracks barely scratch the surface on how many tracks we debated on. It was a lot of discussion, but we are both really happy with our list.
So, did we have any tracks you agree with, disagree with? Let us know in the comments what tracks you think we need in the Booster Pass. Hey, it's Sandy. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, especially considering this ended up being almost 20 minutes long. So if you enjoyed it, please make sure to like and comment. It helps us a ton in the algorithm. This project ended up taking way longer than we thought to make. We actually thought we were going to beat Wave 2 out, and we did complete the script in time, but then Wave 2 got announced a couple days later, and we had to completely replace Kalimari Desert and Waluigi Pinball on our list. But this was an incredibly fun project that me and Itachi put a ton of time into. It actually took so long that me and him both got to go on family vacations before finishing it. But overall though, we're both extremely happy with how this video came out, and we hope everyone else enjoys it also. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.